Yeah, glitch the guarantee. E&E. Put your boy shit. Glitch, nigga. Shit, I'm about to flood the streets like when the levees break. Criminal minds, my Garcia can navigate. Flowing while I'm blowing this gas. Nigga, no breaks. Niggas not seeing me ever. I mean, no dates. Fuck around and end up gone. You getting misplaced. E&E, the shit that I claim. You dealing with grace. Took over the game by storm like Rain's mixtape. Thankfully, I been up to smoke like my mixtape. Counting cheddar shit, I'm about to make a grilled cheese. Niggas be faker than bad bitches with good weeds. On my John Wick shit like Keanu Reeves. Replacements won't be enough, you need the whole team. I've been a G since I could finish my ABCs. Kept it a buck so real niggas look up to me. This butcher boy shit get crazy. When it's sick of me, I'm coughing out these dope bars till they sick of me.
Can't get rid of me, still can't find a remedy. Still blowing palmers if it comes to Hennessy. E&E, we own our shit independently. When I go out on a limb, I take extremities. I can see right through transparency. Heard they self-esteem low, insecurities. Now or never like glitch the guarantee. What's the recipe? King L's Reflection 3. All these chapters in my life, you can turn the page. Books can't tell you my story, gotta live a day. Glitch got my back, yeah, you can copy that. Man, we control the seat, you can copy that. Leave your whole state red like Republicans. Putting fire on the track, now it's bubbling. Put your boys E&E, you in trouble, kid. At first 100 mil, you can double it.
Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. Automatic nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Blow sick, corona, jealous in the motherfucker. Can't even take a step, that's how far I trust you. This black boy turned to shining king under pressure. West side bad jacks, I took more than measure. Shave the extras, that's business, starter fees. Street blues, what I talk, royal blood flowing free. Power on my mind, knows the gang is kind. Read between the lines, it was in my eye. If they ain't got real lines, it ain't hard to spot a counterfeit. Undefeated, ultra real, Fern Gully Mountain shit. Couple hot shots, turn on the frozen margaritas. Even better when it's served with some flawless features. Next year they gotta pay for these flawless features. Flawless victories from the flaws that they teach us. Now my flow imitate how I board the plane nonstop. The little J gon' take over when my time stops.
Yeah, I get right to it. My nigga, we beg your pardon. We putting niggas back in boxes. Yeah, they be harder. My flow be retarded. Sick, I need hella help. My groove came back. This must be how Stella felt. We just started kicking it like a yellow belt. We all made it to the pros. This is how LaMelo felt. You better yell out help. Here come the double team. You catch me in the spot, then you know that the boy is clean. The Louis V look mean with the magazine. So if you try it, you get shot. No vaccine. If you was asleep before I came, then I'm the caffeine. I pull the jokers out the deck. Yeah, there ain't no laughing. In CEO fashion, we sticking to the business. Wouldn't even let a vegan knock me off my chick. Something about the VBS when the sun is hitting. Should be flashing like the lights when you getting
Let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go. All the hustlers getting money, let it show. It's automatic, nigga, how we get the dough. If it ain't paper, then we probably gotta go. Put your boy shit, nigga, let's go.
Virgil Berry, aka Saga. Here, man, we gonna get through it, man. We'll take time out. They're gonna try to tell us it ain't no list.
Yeah. Glitch,
guys.
E&E. 2020 got me seeing so clear. Put your boy shit.
I know we about to
Lost and glitch.
They got the water.
We cool niggas.
You already know what it is, man.
This is the
Boogie
cool.
Major.
We on the rise now, middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling hay, so we high now. How we ride now? All coops with the top down. And we listen in the top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay ballin', like we sponsored by Spalding. Ball looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing. Till we land in the coffin, glitching, nauseous. Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit. Kill him in vain is vanity.
Yeah.
Do it again, it's insanity.
Yeah.
Nauseous a real vigilante.
Sick.
Killing these kids is plan B.
Sick.
Hood is too hot with an antifreeze.
Yeah.
Blowing on leaves in these planted trees. Don't break the code, this family. We cutting off legs like amputees. My flow was classic antique.
Yeah.
Freaking the beat is in Japanese.
Yeah.
Ever our cook is a masterpiece.
Yeah.
When money talkers be Guapanese. Fire and flame mixed with gasoline.
Sick.
Passing my sons, that's a legacy.
Sick.
Study the gang, how they testing me.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball, man, that's incomplete.
Go.
Beat them so bad, make them retreat.
Yeah.
All of these gems you can retweet.
Yeah.
Play with your boys on repeat. You pay the price with your receipt.
Yeah.
Below $1 million, flipping it. Everyday noise get sickening. Trying to flip bills to trillions. Turning these good girls to villains. Lyrics is sick, butcher with shit. E&E clip what we represent. Put it on wax like a candlestick.
Yeah.
We moving units and measurements. Cooking it up in the lab.
Yeah.
We just performing experiments.
Yeah.
Since I'm the bomb atomic, bang. These rappers out of my
We on the
element.
rise now, middle fingers in the sky now. Rolling hay, so we high now. How we ride now? All coops with the top down. And we listen in the top down. Trees got a whole pound. Real G's when we come round. Niggas know how it's going down. Yeah, we on the up, bitch. Real shit you should fuck with. E&E, throw it up shit.
And we stay
Yeah.
ballin', like we sponsored by Spalding. Ball looking for the fall-in, soldiers all fall in. And we go all in, while we listening to all in. While you all talking, we smoking and coughing. Till we land in the coffin, glitching, nauseous.
Yeah.
Yeah, stepping out office. Yeah, it is that bullshit.
Glitch, nigga. Perfected my flow. If I'm on the track, then you know it's a go. The guarantee, nigga, and I guarantee treat the gas like the Clippers. You know I'm a choke. Only exotic when blowing the smoke. No one ahead of me. I got the recipe. Do this shit easily. This is my destiny. Sick throwing lobs. I'm dunking on everything. Niggas is sick, and I got the remedy. What I prescribe is extra artillery. Get in my zone and start going berserk. I'm feeling like Clay when he went off for 60. With the bullshit, swear to God you can miss me. Best friends with the money, Aaliyah and Missy. I come from the bottom. To try me is risky. Throwing this K like that bitch is a frisbee. Real talk. Let me lock in. Show these niggas what I do. Axe Rain, I be standing next to players too. Front line shit, nigga, I'm the fucking truth. Top 6 ever of the 5 in my group. Niggas still bang top down in the coop. Put your boy up and we coming for the loot. E&E shit, we the best, yeah, it's true. This the guarantee, nigga, this is what I do.
Yeah. Oh, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. We about to get to it. Y'all know we about to get to it, man. What's good with everybody? How y'all doing this evening? I apologize once again for the tardiness, man. I had to take care of something very important on the phone. You did. Very important phone call. Excuse me. We have Jeffrey Epstein in the news again, allegedly posthumously. Right? Allegedly. Now this situation with this guy is just crazy to me, man, because when all this stuff was going on during the pandemic and all of that stuff, man, it was so much information coming out surrounding this guy. You know what I mean? And specifically and especially pertaining to a list, right? And you've seen the list. We've seen this list. We've seen that list. XL Pro, what's happening, man? We seen this list, we seen that list, we seen them all, right? Regardless of any list, though, and mind you, if you ask me, I think those lists were authentic. I think that information got out ahead of the curve, and as a result, ever since we've seen damage control. Now, mind you, if you pay attention to the lists when they were first being issued to the public, a lot of people who going down as we speak, Diddy being one of them. Mr. O, what's happening, Joe? My brother, Mr. O, in the building. His name was on that list amongst others like R. Kelly. Right? Now, I mean, you could chalk that up as being fraudulent or whatever. Right? But when you look into Epstein's background, you see how many people on that list that he actually was very, very connected to in numerous ways, right? Now, when it comes to old Jeffrey, y'all, one thing we can't ever forget is that this guy was a well-connected guy. Very connected. You know, with the higher echelon of society globally. One of his homeboys, Jean-Luc Brunel, who in a very strange way was under the same situation he was in the same facility and also allegedly offed himself. Consequently, Puff is in the same facility, right? Now, when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, man, we got to understand that this guy was involved with very nefarious things and very nefarious people. And it makes sense to do him much like how they're doing Sean right now. They invaded they basically raided his St. James Island, where they found thousands of hours of footage that we have yet to see or hear about anybody seeing. All right, he was wanted for basically the same charges that Sean is. But unfortunately, he allegedly unalived himself before he could get a chance to, do what probably Diddy's doing right now. Right? So yeah, man. Pretty wild stuff, man.
Blackmailed prominent individuals, concluding Epstein did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls. It's a striking reversal of a past statement by the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Pam Bondi. Bondi has faced fierce criticism from some Trump supporters after she promoted the February release of a series of Epstein documents that were already publicly available, with some far-right figures calling for Bondi's resignation. Former Trump ally, billionaire Elon Musk, mocking Bondi as a clown on X Monday. The DOJ says it found no credible evidence that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals, concluding Epstein did not maintain a client list that he used to traffic underage girls. It's a striking reversal of a past statement by the head of the Justice Department, Attorney General Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi. Pam frickin' Bondi. So first, their promises that these lists is coming out. Like I said, I believe and I think for a fact that these lists that have already been out are authentic because Pam Bondi verified that and validated that when she kept promising us that more was going to come out, as well as already basically validating and saying that the lists that were out are accurate and they're investigating, right? Now, all of a sudden, ain't no list. What a coincidence, right? Ain't no list all of a sudden. Ain't that a bitch? All this stuff going on and ain't no list.
You don't think we'll see a list?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? Are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
The DOJ may be released.
Donald Trump a funny dude, man.
You don't think we'll see a list?
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Funny
Are
guy.
people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Yeah, that's your homeboy, man. Donald Trump, you're on tape saying that Jeffrey Epstein is your friend and, you know, he likes young girls and all that crazy stuff, man.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
So have you seen anything that you said, oh my gosh?
Not yet.
Elon and Trump seem to be in a bit of a spat, Joe. You can check the tweet that Elon just put out.
Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Jesus Christ.
I've been told that there's no way if you're on watch, you can kill yourself in that prison.
Could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the step?
The video was not conclusive. It's old from like 1999. So every night the video is reset and every night should have the same minute missing.
The American people really have to get vociferous and correct their government and not allow their government to cover up Epstein.
You don't think we'll see?
All right. Craziness, this madness with this Epstein situation, man. Right? Just wild stuff, man. This guy.
I'll speak for myself. I never thought that I would be offering an apology to Jeffrey Epstein. I think of all the times I've maligned that guy, all the times I'm accused him of crimes, of blackmailing people, of trafficking children to powerful figures around the world on behalf of global intel services. And then I learned yesterday from Attorney General Pam Bondi, that's totally untrue.
Yes, yeah.
The guy killed himself after 36 days in prison for no reason. He was a billionaire. Mm-hmm. He had no clients. He'd done nothing wrong other than get like naughty massages 20 years before. And the guy killed himself, another pointless death. And then his best friend, former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, doing 20 years in prison for no crime. There are no victims.
Yes, it's a victimless crime. They're obviously persecuted by the state.
Yes.
They're political prisoners, really. It's The Hague should come in and do an investigation, or we're watching one of the most systematic government cover-ups of all time.
Shout out to my nigga Tucker Carlson, man. You know, Tucker Carlson is one of the last real proper journalists. I mean, he don't go as far as say somebody like I go, but, you know, I'm going to go with this as one of the biggest cover-ups in U.S. history. Now, when we're talking about Jeffrey Epstein, y'all, we're talking about a guy, man. I've been seeing, I don't know, I've done show after show about this dude and who he connected with, man. And I'm always going to tell y'all about this, man. When it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, y'all, understand this. Understand what Jeffrey Epstein was a part of, man. Who he was connected with. Right? And the things that he was involved with, man. Right? Don't ever let them think that Epstein wasn't a guy who had pull. I'm pretty sure everybody who he was connected with was on his island at some point. Right? Now, I'll talk to y'all about the brain gate here and then, right? Here we have Jeffrey Epstein with Bill Gates. And I can't remember these two guys right here. But we all see that's Bill Gates and that's Jeffrey Epstein. Together, Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein are part of a think tank organization called the Brain Gate. And the Brain Gate does so-called philanthropic work doing research and development in the areas of human brain computer interfacing, quantum computing, interdimensional communications. Listen to what I'm telling y'all, man. This is the stuff and the people that Jeff Epstein was connected to. Right? Right? Now listen to what Trump said.
Files.
Yeah.
Would you,
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least.
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
9/11, yeah. JFK, I'm with you. Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. Well, why would Donald Trump be so circumspect about exposing the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire child sex trafficker who died in prison, without revealing which of his well-connected elite friends knew about and possibly even participated in his revolting and illegal activities?
If you were president, would you declassify, you can answer yes or no to this. Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah.
Would you?
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would, or at least.
Do you think that would restore trust? Help restore trust?
Yeah, I don't know about Epstein so much as I do the others.
9/11, yeah. JFK, I'm with you. Jeffrey Epstein, yeah. Well, why would Donald Trump be so circumspect about exposing the secrets of Jeffrey Epstein, a billionaire child sex trafficker who died in prison, without revealing which of his well-connected elite friends knew about and possibly even participated?
Of course, this is an old picture right there, of course. Right? And just because you see somebody in the picture with somebody don't mean that they homeboys or they're even friends. But nonetheless, Trump is connected to Epstein. Now, do I think Trump was on St. James Island? No, I really don't. I don't think he was. I don't know that. That doesn't mean he wasn't. I just don't think or believe he was. Right? But it is mighty strange to me that Trump is, kind of hesitant when it, come to the topic and the subject of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Epstein, like I said, connected to massive different people. And a lot of people had a good reason to want him gone, if he's even really gone. Right? If he's even really gone. Right? Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We got to box cleverly, y'all. We got to box cleverly now, man. We have to box cleverly. Right? So these people like to try to give off the impression like they're not connected with each other, like they don't interact with each other, when we all know that that's not true. Right? We all know that that's not true. Birds of a feather flock together, and that's a fact.
Investigative journalist Lee Fung wrote yesterday, Epstein sent many rambling emails suggesting projects with Bill Gates. Asked to prep presentations for new Gates-backed foundation, $100 million minimum investment expanding on exchanging prior Gates-related interests like vaccines and maternal care. In one of those emails from February 25th, 2011, Epstein reportedly wrote, Gates guy here today, no reporters, I took care of that, stay calm and focused, we need to speak, I am staying until very late tonight, seeing Gates read donor on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday set aside for 2-3 hours to discuss exactly this.
This comes as more information on Epstein's dealings are coming to light amid JP Morgan's fresh accusations over ties to the accused sex offender, Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, so these are, filings from this JP Morgan Virgin Islands lawsuit. So just more and more emails from JP Morgan officials, Epstein talking about it, just the all the influential, important people with lots of money that Epstein was connecting to government officials at the island, to the bank as well. His ongoing kind of relationship with Gates, which is, these messages to Gates people are 2011. So that's after he's already a known sex offender. He's been convicted. He got his house arrest or whatever kind of deal he got for sexual misconduct with underage girls. So you can't say, I didn't know. It was known. It was known by then. There's some joking about Miley Cyrus, who at the time of this is 15. She's a Disney star at the time. So that's a clear inclination of an awareness of exactly the kind of thing Epstein goes for. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's time to listen up and take charge. Struggling to qualify for a home loan?
Right. Come on, man. All that media coverage this guy was getting. And we supposed to believe that now all of a sudden, there's nothing. There's just nothing. Right? Now there's nothing.
Was reported at that time that you had a number of meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, who, when you met him 10 years ago, he was convicted of soliciting prostitution from minors. What did you know about him when you were meeting with him, as you've said yourself, in the hopes of raising money?
I had dinners with him. I regret doing that. He had relationships with people he said, would give to global health, which is a interest I have. Not nearly enough philanthropy goes in that direction. Those meetings were a mistake. They didn't result in what he purported, and I cut them off. That goes back a long time ago now. So there's nothing new on that.
It was reported that you continue to meet with him over several years. And that, in other words, a number of meetings. What did you do when you found out about his background?
Well, I've said I regretted having those dinners. And there's absolutely nothing new on that.
I mean, what is there to regret, though? If you didn't already know. If you didn't know and you found out, there's nothing to regret. You didn't know. We can't fault you for what you didn't know, or unless you did know, and this is just damage control. Notice he's given a lot of non-answers.
Is there a lesson for you, for anyone else looking at this?
Well, he's dead, so in general, you always have to be careful. I'm very proud of what we've done in philanthropy. Very proud of the work of the foundation. That's what I get up every day and focus on.
A lot of non-answers. This dude, Bill Gates, is one of the most arrogant, one of the most flippant, what's another word I could use for this dude Gates, man? He's one of the most self-consumed out of all these so-called elites, man. He's so smug. And it's like every time he talking, it's like he's scoffing at people. Like he's just so much better. That's the energy I get from Bill Gates. A whole bunch of non-answers. When Bill, we all know that you and Epstein are was business partners, all part of BrainGate. Right? Don't ever get it twisted, man. Right? I keep telling y'all, man, they be thinking we don't be knowing stuff about these people, man. That's why I said they be insulting our intelligence. This is what they got in common. Both of them sit on the chair board, or according to what they telling us, Epstein sat on the chair board of this organization right here called BrainGate, where, like I told you, they do philanthropic research and development into human brain computer interfacing, augmented reality, virtual reality, mixed reality. This is what the BrainGate is all about. And Epstein and Bill Gates was all in on it. Notice that the last word in it is gate. Right? So sorry, Bill. We're not buying your bullshit, bro. This is what I was saying about these people be trying to insult our intelligence, man. I just think it's so disrespectful. Everything I talk to y'all about. Human brain computer interface and all of this stuff. This is what Epstein was involved with. All right? Smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, man. So a whole lot of people involved with this BrainGate situation, man. Let me pull up this article for y'all real quick. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. You did. Right? Right? All of these people, right? Let me pull this picture up for y'all, man. Niquay, what's up, baby? Right? Now look at that picture right there. Right? This is Epstein's mansion in 2011. James E. Staley. This guy right here. The senior JP Morgan executive. Former Treasury Secretary Lawrence Summers. This guy. Bill Gates, co-founder of Microsoft. And Boris Nikolic, who was the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation science advisor. This guy. All these guys right here, including others, sit on the chairboard of that think tank organization I just was telling y'all about called BrainGate. Right? So don't get this stuff twisted, man. I'm saying, and like I always tell y'all, I don't believe anything the media say. First, they got the list. It's on their desk. It's on Bondi's desk. Now there's no list. Right? First, he was on suicide watch. Now, all of a sudden, this happened 11 days after he was released from suicide watch, man. Out of all the days that this surveillance system doesn't work properly, is on the day that he allegedly unalived himself. Allegedly in solitary, suicide watch, but kind of find out now that they said later that, it happened 11 days after he got off of suicide watch. All right. When reports was first coming out, they said all this happened while he was on suicide watch. Now all of a sudden, when you look at the papers from the case, man, DOJ, man, they said that he was released from suicide watch 11 days prior and acquired lots of bed linens and stuff and was somehow able to asphyxiate himself in the cell. You know, Bill Gates, you're not a good liar at all, bro. Not a good liar at all. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Sharing social engineering. Right? Let's go.
So what are the penalties for not filing your taxes?
Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, man. Wow.
Isn't satisfied with the DOJ's explanation on the Jeffrey Epstein case.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Are including some of the most staunch
Trump said, you still talking about Jeffrey?
The Justice Department's abrupt announcement this week that there would be no additional documents released in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking and suicide case, and that there was no client list or evidence he was murdered caused some on the right to erupt.
She's either lazy and incompetent, or she willingly humiliated some of the president's most loyal supporters. I'm going to predict her days are numbered as a member of the Trump administration.
I would guarantee you that.
Just some of the MAGA frustration pointed at Attorney General Pam Bondi. Conservative influencers were invited to the White House in February, where they were given Epstein file binders marked Phase 1. The Attorney General raised expectations that there would be more to come as they looked over evidence.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Far-right activist Laura Loomer said Bondi should resign for lying to the American people. Commentator Liz Wheeler, who was invited to the White House in February for the binder event, said the Attorney General should be fired.
She said she would deliver, and she didn't. Something she said, either then or now, is not true. That is a big, big problem.
Bondi tried to clarify her client list comments at a cabinet meeting this week, while the president essentially told supporters to get over it.
It's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well.
See, they like to try to play semantics with you and military mind games, right? They're the first gaslighters, if you would. Man, come on, man. Right? This guy, Epstein, clearly was involved with bullshit. Rightfully so. Oddly enough, the Virginia Giuffre chick died. I think she committed suicide, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken. His name Virginia Giuffre or whatever her name is. Yeah, there she died, man. Yeah, April of this year, man, just a couple months ago. Allegedly, she died from suicide at her home in Nirgaby, Western Australia. Yeah, right. Regina Giuffre was the chick who allegedly Epstein, along with Ghislaine, was trafficking all across the world with the likes of Prince Andrews and other people. An assault went down at Leslie Wexner's mansion in Upper or in New Albany, Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. She alleged that this is where Jeffrey Epstein assaulted her at his homeboy, his big homie, his benefactor, Leslie Wexner's mansion in New Albany. Right? Y'all know about that. Hold on. Let's do this. Right? Right? Y'all know who Leslie Wexner is, don't y'all? If you from Ohio, specifically Central Ohio, you definitely know who Leslie Wexner is. CEO and founder of L Brands, Victoria's Secret, all that. You know? Y'all know who that is, don't y'all? Y'all know who Leslie Wexner is, right? Yeah, man. This was Jeffrey Epstein's big homie. CEO and founder of L Brands, Victoria's Secret, Structure, all of that stuff, man. Amongst others. He got a mansion out there in New Albany. He basically owns the city of New Albany, had it built from the ground up. And at this mansion, Virginia Giuffre, this is where she says Jeffrey Epstein sexually assaulted her. Her case stems from that. She allegedly unalived herself on April 25th of this year. Allegedly, I do say. Dan Patrick, what's happening, man? He said kicking it with a big booty Keisha, huh? Somewhere on St. James Island. Huh? This is crazy, man. Right? Oh, man. Not Trump partying with Epstein. Trump partying with Epstein. We gotta go see what's to it. They got footage of Trump partying with Epstein. Let me pull it up for y'all. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page. Y'all know what it is. Right? Y'all know what it is. Smash that like button, man. Hold on. Whoa. I just caught that. Hold on. Stop the presses. Stop the presses. Let's hold on. We got to box cleverly now.
The footage, shot in November of 1992, before Trump opened the resort as a club shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings in your show.
Trump is surrounded by
Trump, man. Trump been there, y'all. What y'all talking about, man? Trump been in the building, man. You know? Huh? 1992, boy. You know what was going on at that party in 1992. Big coke everywhere, right? Crack everywhere. Definitely some boy everywhere. You know? And it's messed up because the government got all the evidence and they won't let us see it. They be stealing shit. Doing weird, goofy shit like stealing information. So we can't know. Right? It all is a fucking charade, man. Yes, it is, Dan Patrick, man. I have to agree with you on that, brother. Right? You know? Now they're just showing that footage. Now, like I said, just because you see somebody on, just because you see somebody on camera with somebody, or you see somebody in the picture with somebody, that don't necessarily mean that they friends or they cool, right? But you know, you gotta use your due diligence, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta use your discernment. You know what I'm saying? Him and Leslie Wexner is close knit. That was his benefactor, if you would, his big homie. You know? First, they said they have all this evidence. They got all that footage. Thousands of hours of footage that they recovered from St. James Island. Now, all of a sudden, they ain't showing the footage. No, he didn't unalive him. No, he did unalive himself. And sorry, but those files that Bondi was talking about, they never existed. Oh, my God, man. It reads like a textbook, man. It reads like a freaking textbook, man. You know? Wow, man. You know what I'm saying? You can go online, look at all the depositions of this guy. They ain't got no list, huh?
So Epstein, Diddy, what is the model? If they go and they get a massive chip, I don't know how many terabytes it was, 9.5 terabytes of content that they have. What's in there? What videos is it? What footage do you have of who? And who has that? Who has seen it? Who's gone through it? Who has taken inventory of it? Who has access to it, right? What celebrities are in there? What do we know? So Epstein, Diddy.
All good, valid questions, man. Great questions. All right. This dude, Bill, I regret sending emails to. No, you don't. You were sending emails to him for a specific reason, man. Y'all, not only was y'all doing business with each other through Brain Great, I'm pretty sure Bill was on some freaky shit, probably allegedly, maybe. Right? Man, this is wild, man. You know? Right? This is some wild stuff, man. Yeah, the depositions be wild. The depositions be crazy, man. Right? You know, it is wild, man. It is crazy, man. Right? Damn, Patrick, you silly, man. But yeah, they ain't about to sit up here and play with our intelligence like that. Like y'all had all this evidence against this guy, or all this seemingly information to this guy on this guy. Right? Now all of a sudden y'all got nothing. Now all of a sudden y'all have nothing. He definitely unalived himself. We ain't showing y'all none of the footage that we got from St. James Island. And not only that, right? Not only that, he didn't unalive himself. And no, he doesn't have a client list now. We were so adamant about this list. Like I said, Bondi even said she had the list on her desk. She tried to get all technical with it and cover her ass by saying, I said I got different issues, the files, you know, like the JFK file. We don't need to see any files concerning JFK. That's a fact, man. We just don't. Listen to this guy.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
Now you know a suicide. Now you know a suicide once you see one. What does a suicide look like?
Trump does appear uncomfortable with the topic.
There's a moment where you had some hesitation about Epstein releasing some of the documents on Epstein. Why the hesitation?
I don't think I mean, I'm not involved. I never went to his island. Fortunately.
See, that's not what he asked you, Donald. Let's run that back.
Does appear uncomfortable with the topic.
There's a
Right, my bad, y'all. My bad.
There's a moment where you had some hesitation about Epstein releasing some of the documents on Epstein. Why the hesitation?
I don't think I mean, I'm not involved. I never went to his island. Fortunately.
I'm not involved.
But a lot of people did.
Oh my goodness. Why is he talking like that? Why is his eye almost completely swollen shut? And why does he always get uncomfortable when the topic of the guy he's in numerous videos hanging out with, Jeffrey Epstein, is brought up? Maybe we will never know, but I hope someday we will. Trump does appear uncomfortable with the topic.
There's a
He definitely
moment
is.
where you had
Definitely very uncomfortable with the topic.
Would you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Could you please give us your name? Jeffrey Epstein. Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped?
If you didn't know, Clio is a cash advance app where you can get up to $250. I already know what you're thinking. What about my credit?
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as body language expert. And today we're going to be analyzing behavior and body language to see if we can determine whether or not there's actually an Epstein client list. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. We're going to be looking at 3 different clips today, starting with an interview with Attorney General Pam Bondi. This is from February of this year. Then we're going to be looking at White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. And then after that, we are going to be looking at President Trump and Pam Bondi together. All right, let's just jump right in.
About the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files.
Now, normally I break things down as we go, but
see how she did that, man? That's why I say, man, hey, Pac said it the best, man. The media is full of dirty tricks, man. The media is full of dirty tricks. Literally, let's go.
Wanted you to see that whole clip. And now we're going to go back and break it down bit by bit.
Donald Trump has talked about the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients.
Immediately. Now, he specifically said releasing a list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. That is specifically what was said. You saw her nodding her head as that was stated. There was nothing about files, nothing more broad than that. There was a very specific question, and she had a very specific head nodding response to that, which obviously anybody would interpret as affirmative, as yes.
Talked about the DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
Now, this part right here is a little bit more ambiguous. So after he said, is that really going to happen? The first thing you saw was her head doing this. Now, the challenge here is that sometimes people do shake their head for emphasis. And you see her do that in a way that appears to be emphasis after this. This is a little bit ambiguous. And I do like to be very specific about what I'm seeing. And if you look, her head is very horizontally moving like this. To me, that looks like a head shake. It looks like she's saying no, but that is potentially up for interpretation. Let's watch that again, and then we're going to keep going.
Of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Oh, I've seen it.
That's been a directive.
So it's sitting on my desk right now for review. You saw the head nod with that. And now you see her doing this. Now, as she's doing this looks more like for emphasis than this did.
That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files.
You see the way she's leaning in. JFK files, MLK files. All of this seems very authentic. So when she said she has the file on her desk, there's nothing in her body language that would suggest that that is not true. And whether or not she plans to release it or thinks it will ever actually get released, that's a little bit more ambiguous to me. But it seems very clear she is telling the truth, and she is being very specific when she is responding to whether or not there is an Epstein list on her desk. On top of that, she is someone who speaks very precisely. You're going to see that later, and again later she's trying to clarify this point, but she is someone who is very precise with her language. So I would be very surprised if somebody said something that was inaccurate and she didn't correct them at that time. That's very much the way that she typically is.
By President Trump, I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So have you seen any?
So this was several months ago. Now what we're going to be looking at is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt responding to questions the day after the Department of Justice came out and said there is no Epstein list. One of the main reasons I created this channel is to help people stay safe, whether it's through recognizing body language or just understanding the warning signs of danger. In today's digital age, your personal information could be at risk, leaving you vulnerable to scams, identity theft, and fraud. That's why I'm excited to share today's sponsor, Aura. Aura is an all-in-one digital safety solution that helps protect you and your vulnerable personal identity, fraud, and theft. What can be protected? It is an
administration.
So as you can see, she raised her eyebrows, certainly more than the previous administration. So rather than focusing on, hey, the Department of Justice has done an amazing job, we know for sure this is all good, this is all right, she's deflecting once again. We're better than the last administration was. That's the message right here.
That's the gist of what she's saying.
It's deflecting what people are really asking about.
Done more to lock up bad guys than certainly the previous administration. And the Trump administration is committed to truth into transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director.
Now look at her body right here. As she's saying all of this, she's moving around a lot. And she, once again, is somebody who's very direct. It seems like it takes a lot to rattle her. And it seems like right now you're seeing more nervous energy than usual. She is not able to stand very still. You're seeing her scoot around, which probably means there's a lot of adrenaline going on. That probably means there's a lot of feeling as she's having to field these questions. Probably much easier to respond to the previous questions during this.
Committed to truth and to transparency. That's why the Attorney General and the FBI Director pledged to do an exhaustive review of all of the files related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a memo in conclusion of that.
So they put out a memo. Watch your hands right here.
Related to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes and his death. And they put out a.
So she wants you to pay attention to the memo. She doesn't want you to ask her questions. They put out a memo. That's the end of it. So she's essentially kicking the can to somebody else.
Memo in conclusion of that review. There was material they did not release because, frankly, it was incredibly graphic and it contained not something that's appropriate for public.
Now you can hear the pressure in her voice as she's talking about this. So she's talking about that they're not going to release the type of content that they ultimately have, which nobody would expect them to. Nobody has asked for that. Not one person in all of this has ever asked for them to release anything other than the names of the people that were involved, because that's what was promised. So as she's getting aggressive with this, that's a way to shut people down, to say, we're not going to release that. That's not appropriate. But nobody's asking for that. So it, once again, it deflects exactly what everybody's wanting. And it's a way to shame and stop people from asking for the client list, even though what she's saying is actually entirely unrelated.
Consumption, but they committed to an exhaustive.
That's what I talk about when I say non-answers.
Now, this was the most interesting part of this whole thing. Watch her mouth right here.
Consumption, but they committed to an exhaustive investigation.
There's two important parts here. One is that she's looking down right now. That's when you don't really want to see the response of the person you're talking to. You may be saying something that you don't believe, or saying something where you really just don't want to see how they're going to react, even if it's brief. And you also see this kind of frown. This is a way of being both uncomfortable and a way of showing indifference. So it seems to be that she's saying, well, they decided to do this. So you see that this is maybe her real reaction.
I can probably show this to y'all.
She is very good at staying on target with what she's talking about. I'm not entirely sure personally if she actually believes what she's saying.
Dr. G seems like he's a cool guy.
She's been given different information and said, hey, lie with
Dr. G don't seem like he'll
She's
flag
saying exactly what she has been given to say.
Using his content. Right.
For public consumption, but they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Oh,
sure.
Okay, so as this next question is being asked, you see her back up a little bit. We do that to gain emotional distance.
Dr. G talking about. Shout out to Dr. G, man.
Friends. It seems to be that she's saying, well, they decided to do this. So you see that this is maybe her real reaction. While she is very good at staying on target with what she's talking about, I'm not entirely sure personally if she actually believes what she's saying. I don't think that she's been given different information and said, hey, lie about this stuff. I think she's saying exactly what she has been given to say. I'm just not sure that she actually believes it.
Right.
For public consumption, but they committed to an exhaustive investigation. That's what they did, and they provided the results of that. That's transparency.
Oh,
sure.
Caroline. Okay, so as this next question is being asked, you see her back up a little bit. We do that to gain emotional distance because this is probably making her uncomfortable. Watch this right here.
The results of that. That's transparency.
Oh,
sure.
Caroline. Okay. You can see the head bouncing back a little bit. There's discomfort with this. So the FBI looks at the circumstances. You can also see she's taking in a big breath through her nose. You can see the chest raise. She is appearing once again more uncomfortable than she typically does during these White House press briefings.
That's transparency.
Oh,
sure.
Caroline. Okay, so the FBI looks at the circumstances surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein. According to the report,
This systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. So what happened to the Epstein client list that the Attorney General said she had on her desk?
Well, I think if you go back and look at what the Attorney General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News. Go ahead.
You saw her lips pucker right there. That's both stress and uncertainty.
General said in that interview, which was on your network on Fox News. Go ahead.
John Roberts said, DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen? And she said, it's sitting on my desk right now to review.
Yes, she was saying the entirety of all of the paperwork, all of the paper
not
in
what she
relation
said,
to
though.
Jeffrey Epstein's.
So you can see her using emphasis to try to once again deflect the question. Watch this right here.
Entirety of all of.
So she's trying to illustrate. So pay attention to my hands. Pay attention to the fact that she has all this paperwork. That's what she's trying to illustrate. Don't pay attention to the question you just asked. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Right.
All of the paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General.
And she didn't even pronounce Epstein's name correctly. You'll hear she said Epstein. Now, we're all allowed to say things wrong. I do it all the time.
Right.
But it has to do with the fact that I think that this is causing her to feel more nervous than she typically does, because she is not speaking as fluidly. She is messing up a little bit more than she usually does when she does these kinds of press briefings.
The paperwork, all of the paper in relation to Epstein's crimes. That's what the Attorney General was referring to, and I'll let her speak for that. But again, when it comes to the FBI.
Yeah, man. Y'all ain't fooling nobody. Y'all ain't tricking nobody, man, with this Epstein shit, man. Right? You know, so I ain't want to stay here too long. I just wanted to sit here and touch on this real quick, man, because, you know, here it is again. Jeffrey Epstein back in the news again, allegedly posthumously, after all these years of saying that they got these files and they're going to release the files to us, and, you know, they're going to release all the information surrounding the case with the list and this client list. And all of a sudden, there ain't no client list. There was speculation around him actually committing unaliving of himself. Now they're saying, nah, he did. For sure, he did. And what I always tell y'all about the media, I don't believe anything they say. I don't believe anything they say. Right? Let's go.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
In Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
What names are in there, man? You understand how many powerful people probably want this thing to desperately go away?
The FBI airmailed into that operation and said, this is not getting out. Because they do that because this is another government gangster operation.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
The DOJ may
Right.
be releasing.
All of a sudden, ain't no more list, though. There's no more list. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Go home. Nothing to see here. Insulting our intelligence. Very disrespectful. This is why I say I don't believe anything they say. I don't believe anything these people say. Right? I don't see a reason to believe anything they say. Release the Epstein list, man. Of course, there's flight log lists of people who were on them airplanes. It's a FAA priority. Any ship, any airplane, any vehicle of such like mass transportation or whatever. My brother Al, what's happening, man? Right? They have to have a manifest, man, for all the goods on the plane, all the passengers on the plane. When you get on any commercial flight airplane, there is a manifest, a list of everybody on that flight. Everybody. Right? Everybody. You mean to tell me on Epstein's list, it just all of a sudden disappeared, huh? Like I said, nothing to see here. Go home. No more questions. The best way to avoid something from being investigated is to make it not what's the word I want to use here? Make it not suiting, or make it good to investigate. You know what I'm talking about? And I just want to say this, y'all, man, before we get up out of here. I don't believe anything the mainstream media says unless I do my research myself. But like off top, especially when, like I say, and like what's been proven tonight, they've been known to flat out lie or try to, you know what I mean, word salad some shit. They try to for the lack of a better term, gaslight you, right? They try to get real super technical on things that when first conveyed wasn't being technical. Asked her a question. What about the Epstein list? They're on my desk. So we're supposed to just accept that because he said, no, what I meant was the files on my desk. No, he didn't ask you about a file. He said specifically the Epstein's client list. You said it's on my desk. So, right now it's just like, this is why I say I don't believe them. I don't trust them. I can't. Not when they operating like this, but we about to get up out of here, y'all. Man, smash that like button, click the bell, subscribe to the page, sharing social engineering. I appreciate everybody coming out tonight. You dig? Showing that support. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share on your social engineering. We got the listening party coming up this Saturday from our brother King Els, his album Everlasting, the latest E&E edition from our brother King Els. We definitely had a listening party for that Saturday night. Friday night, we're going to do the Friday night wrap up. Tomorrow, it's up in the air if I'm going to do a show tomorrow. I might have some things I have to do. I've just been kind of busy lately. I got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, and it's time consuming. But, I'm here as usual. We already know what it is. Smash that like button, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, Jack. We about to get up out of here, man. And as usual, we riding out to some E&E. We riding out to some E&E. You did. Smash that like button, click on the bell, and subscribe to the page, man. We sitting up here dropping that real talk right here, man. This Epstein dude, man. He's supposed to be dead, right? Allegedly, he's dead. I don't believe that either. I ain't seen his body. I ain't go to his funeral. I don't know nobody who he's related to. I have no reason to believe that this dude is dead. Let's go. You already know this. Smash that like, click on the bell, subscribe to the page, share your social engineering, man. E&E every day, all day, no days off. You did.
It's going to hurt. That's not necessary.
What question? Y'all, possibly tomorrow, definitely Friday and Saturday. Let's go.
It's going to hurt.
Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes, like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on all of our black kings. All black everything, we got black tees. All black coffee, man, I don't add green. North give you all you need, no more caffeine. Close down the whole set, no more casting. Remove targets off our back like a black team. We keep growing up the game like a black team. Your girl got a problem with me, then get at me. I fired to a bumper, now you got a drag queen. You can't stop me, you old as jalopy. This is past me, and I got it photocopied. Caught up on film, flow, tracks and sloppy. Trying to attack me, you a carbon copy. I see the heat like chimney blocks, and I charge for a hook, put me in a penalty box. Man, I'm killing the ops while I look at my watch. All hands on deck like the time on the clock. Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black
Keep my
things.
grass cut low to catch a glimpse of the snakes. Devilish serpents with purpose to steal your cake. Smiling in your face while they got their eyes on your safe. Yeah. Boy, that hatred, man, they make you do some foul things. Switch up on your niggas like the numbers when the Dow change. When I'm worth a million, still a grind like a broke. Take it for granted, should be gone in the proof of smoke. Better put your plan in action, niggas get you used to hope. Formulated the plan, calculated the steps. 2020, my vision, see my way to the check. Get it. Only way is up, I made my way to the steps. Let's go. Look, only way to move is building kingdom shit. Niggas won't make a move, want you to bring them shit. But God bless the child that can hold his own. They want to give you numbers in his cell like a mobile phone. But fuck a cop, any wicked, you this was just fuck. Cause niggas on the edge, there for you to push. Bullets loaded tight up in that magazine. Bring a nightmare to American dreams.
Task Force, Black Force, we the tag team. If it's a nightmare, then it must be a bad dream. E&E, running our lanes like a track meet, skipping over hurdles. Call us a track team, all paperwork legit. It's the fact team, then double up the championship belts like a tag team. Black on black, yeah, it's a black thing. Black jewelry shining on our black kings.